South Jamaica, baby, they made me to be the greatest. Serving the deed of my creators, fresh off of my high haters. It's the king again, Magda when chauffeured, bragging and boasting.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dollars, and today's video is gonna be about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what's next for Marvel. So, for those of you who don't know and been living under a rock for the past couple of years, Marvel has been the king of cinematic universes and comic book movies, and it begs to question: will they continue their success? How will it go? And what's next for Marvel? Basically, that's what this video is about. What will Marvel do next, and how can they keep it fresh and new? So, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? The MCU, it had 3 phases. Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3, which ended with Endgame and Infinity War. So, those phases, in my opinion, it was almost like a movie trilogy. Because you get, the first movie, which was, I would look at like Avengers Part 1 was like the first movie. Avengers 2 was the second movie. Avengers 3, which is Infinity War, is the third movie. Endgame is, they say, is Avengers 4, but I bunch it in with Infinity War. So usually after a trilogy is done, the movie studios, they're gonna either continue, they'll make a part 4, or they reboot. So that begs to question, is Marvel gonna reboot, or are they just gonna continue the story going along? And for the most part, they said they're gonna continue the story going along, but they might just have new superheroes coming and just focus more on their small stories and not lead up to anything big. I think that yeah, you could go and continue the story, but when you don't have Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans anymore, then that makes it kind of hard, because those faces are like basically the heart and soul of Marvel. Was Iron Man and Captain America. Those guys right there were the backbone. And you can't just recast those characters, because those guys are like synonymous with those characters, You can't just go get a new actor to play that role. So people are gonna want Iron Man and Captain America in the movie again. Especially when those movies were successful, They made billions of dollars. Captain America, Winter Soldier, the Civil War, Iron Man, but I think Iron Man 3 made $1 billion. But everybody knows and loves these guys, They love Robert Downey Jr. and they love Chris Evans, so they want to see them again. And with these contracts and these actors getting tired of doing the same role over and over again, it just makes me wonder how or when Marvel's gonna decide, let's just reboot it. So we have that issue. Also, another issue, will audiences get tired of seeing the same thing over and over again, and the same formulas? Like, now it's just a joke. Superhero movies is becoming a fad, is a trend, and instead of just making good movies, movie studios like, hey, it's a comic book, let's just put it out there, and that's an easy money right there for them nowadays. But after a while, people are gonna get tired. A lot of people were invested in Marvel because of the ongoing story they was telling with Thanos, and Thanos was a great villain. I think Infinity War was a great movie. Endgame was a little weak, in my opinion. There's a lot of questionable decisions in that movie, but it is what it is. It's done already, so can't go back. But are people gonna say enough is enough with these movies? I know I'm not. I'm always gonna be interested in see these movies, but the hype has died down a little bit. So I think Marvel, they're just gonna focus on doing smaller stories for now, because when you are making billion-dollar movies back to back to back to back, how long can you sustain that? Is that sustainable? And after a while, will Disney have the patience to keep, to start over and lead another narrative to lead up to something else bigger, like Thanos? Will they have the patience to do that over again? And Disney about their billions, and when they start saying that, hey, these movies ain't making what they used to, will they just lose faith and sidetrack that? So are they gonna be able to sustain a long story again? Are they gonna be able to sustain making $1 billion off of every film? Do they even have another character that people are gonna be hyped to see? We're gonna talk about the X-Men and Fantastic Four in a couple minutes, but right now we're just gonna talk about Disney being able to sustain growth and keep on putting out these movies, and they keep doing well. And I don't know. I don't think that's gonna be possible. They gave us something that was never done before. They gave us the Infinity Saga. They gave us a connected universe. They built to this event for 10 years. That was unheard of. No one's ever done that before. And they pulled it off. So it's like the magic is wearing off a little bit. After Endgame, it's like, do people even want to continue seeing, superhero movies with the same formula? Now, they could do it. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but they have to do it in a way that's fresh and exciting and new and still keeps people hype. You have to make people hype again. You gotta, get people talking and hints at the future, like that's what they did with their little end credit scenes. There was always an end credit scene because there was always something going on in the background that it just played with your imagination. Like, damn, what are they gonna do next? Where are they gonna go with this? So they could do it. They just have to do it fresh. They gotta make it exciting. That's like, not to compare, DC, what they're doing with the Joker movie. They supposedly the critics are loving it. They're saying it's a masterpiece and it's not like a comic book movie. And that's gonna bring up a debate because people are gonna be like, well, how are you gonna make a movie about the Joker and it not be, true to the source material, that is not like a comic book movie? But that's what you guys have to do to keep it fresh. You can't always put out a movie and have the same things going on. Hey, there's a good guy, there's a bad guy. One of them wants to take over the world and destroy it, and the superhero is going to save the day. He's going to lose at first. They're going to be jokes sprinkled out throughout the whole movie. No. They got to take these comic book movies to a whole nother level now, and that's what the Joker is doing. It's not a video about the Joker. I'm just saying, like, if Marvel wants to continue being on top of the game and continue being successful and making hit movies, they got to find a way to reinvent themselves, So I just wonder, how they're going to do it. Because Disney owns Marvel, and, Disney, they're about money, and they're not going to jeopardize money over art. They prefer to make money over making good movies, in a way, And, Disney's for kids, so they always cater to the kids more. But me, I'm an adult, grown-ass man. I want to see, these characters taken to another level and appreciated, and, give me something new and fresh. Keep me excited also. Now, let's talk about X-Men and the Fantastic Four. They have the rights now. X-Men has been on a bumpy road. They had good movies, they had some bad movies, they had some horrible movies. Now Disney got their hands all over it, and that could be the way that they keep it fresh and exciting, because now you're gonna have a nice, characters that people know already and are gonna be excited to see mingle with the Avengers and to see them in that universe. The question is, how do they bring them in? How will they integrate how will they integrate X-Men and Fantastic Four into their universe? Well, you got Doctor Strange's movie that's coming out. What's it called? Multiverse of Madness. So they already been dropping hints of different dimensions and different worlds out there. So we know the X-Men is in one of these dimensions and in another world, and they just gotta bring them all together to collide. So they could do that with what was that comic book story? Battle. I forgot the name of that story, but I know supposedly was it Secret Wars? Yeah, Secret Wars. Basically, in that story, there's this villain that gets all these different universes, like all these characters from different universes in Marvel, and put them on one planet, and they make them fight. And whoever loses, like their universe gets destroyed, their dimension gets destroyed. And basically, after that story's done, there's one universe with all these characters from different universes that's on that universe. So that is most likely how I see them bringing Fantastic Four and the X-Men, you know, and yeah, I feel like that'll be a good way. The Russo brothers did say they would come back to direct another Avengers movie if it was Secret Wars. So I think Secret Wars is gonna be the intro for X-Men and Fantastic Four. But you know, that's the thing. That would be an event. That would be something that's exciting. That would be something people will get hype about. You know, and that means they gotta start dropping hints now. You know, the next Marvel movie, what's next? Is it Black Widow? I think they gotta start dropping little Easter eggs and end credit scenes and start building up to that, if that's what they're gonna do. You know, supposedly they said they have too many movies already lined up that we're not gonna get the X-Men and Fantastic Four for a while. But if the movies they making right now come out and not doing as well, they're gonna fast track X-Men, Fantastic Four, and that's gonna be that. We all know that. This is a business at the end of the day, and they're not gonna want to have a slowdown in their profits. And are you gonna be excited for a Disney version of X-Men? I mean, say what you want about those X-Men movies, but you know, some of them I like the serious tone of those movies. You know, I'm not always about lightheartedness and jokes and all that. I like serious movies. You know, I like stakes, and I like, you know, shit that's going down and is real. You know, I don't want that freaking like a movie just for a movie and there's nothing, like no stakes. You know, like that's the problem with Marvel. Most of their movies don't have no stakes in it. Only Thanos. Thanos has stakes because he snapped and half the freaking planet was gone. The universe. So, you know, you gotta do right by these characters, man. You know, you gotta be all in and have these characters freaking fight to the death and half alive, and Wolverine with freaking blood coming out of his freaking claws. You know, like I just want more stakes with these characters. You know, the first Iron Man had that. Like, it wasn't a big threat, but you saw like, damn, he's getting his ass kicked. He's freaking really. It's gritty. It was darker. You know, it had his jokes, but it was like, yeah, you know, Iron Man was shooting terrorists. You see freaking bullets hitting them. You know, I think that was before Disney had brought Marvel. You know, but yeah, I think the X-Men and Fantastic Four, which I'm more excited for Fantastic Four. Like, I want to see what Disney does with them, because Disney has been, I mean, you know, Marvel, Disney have been great at putting characters that weren't as popular and making them popular. Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, and I just don't want Fantastic Four to copy everything that Guardians of the Galaxy did, like they did with Thor Ragnarok. They saw that Guardians of the Galaxy was popping, and they was like, all right, we're gonna copy that style, that tone, and we're gonna do it with Thor. It was successful, don't get me wrong, but come on, man. Like, Ragnarok wasn't even the real Ragnarok story, if you want to be technical. And I'm all about source material. I want to see, you know, just bring the comics to life in the movies. All right, you could change little subtle things, but don't change the freaking story. Don't change the whole plot. You know, so that's the issue that I have with Marvel. Sometimes they go crazy and they start changing things they ain't supposed to be changing. Just stay true to the characters, the source material, and tell the stories as accurately as possible. And we're good. Will Avengers 5, will it be a Secret Wars or will it be X-Men versus Avengers? Now, that'll get me hyped. You know, X-Men versus Avengers? What? That would be hype. But you ain't got Iron Man and Cap no more. So that's an issue, man. I want to see Wolverine. I want to see his claws slashing that shield, you know? And don't tell me Falcon or Bucky is going to be the new Cap, because I know it happened in the comics. That's fine, but I need Cap, OG Cap back. You know, bring him back. You know, and come on, like I would love to see that interaction. You know, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Captain America in one movie. Like that's the holy grail right there, Marvel. I don't care what nobody says. Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America. That's the holy grail. You know. Yeah, so I think, you know, they're gonna hold off on giving us a big bad villain because they want to introduce, you know, they got X-Men and Fantastic Four to bring into the fold, so we might not get a big villain no time soon. It'll probably be smaller scale villains, you know, but you know, you could do smaller scale. There's nothing wrong with that. If you give us some badass smaller scale movies and villains like Norman Osborn, badass. Doctor Doom, badass. Like he's a worldwide threat, but at the same time, it's not something that you gotta bring cosmic entities in, and you know, like you could make your villains, your smaller villains, badass. You know, and then that's the advantage this DC has with their villains. They have some of the most iconic villains. Look, the Joker's getting a movie. You know, Harley Quinn, she's good and bad sometimes. She's getting her own movie. You know, Suicide Squad was a movie about the villains, you know. And Marvel needs to build up their villains too. And they starting to do that. Killmonger was a good villain. I enjoyed. Thanos was the best villain they ever had. Hella, like they started, you know, their villains starting getting cooler and cooler and badass. And that's what they got to embrace, you know. The hero will only be as good as the villain and vice versa. So you got to have strong villains, and you don't need to bring in Galactus yet. You know, I know everybody's saying Galactus going to be the next villain, you know. You don't got to bring him yet. You know, he's going to come. Trust me. They're talking about making a Silver Surfer movie. You know, so just Marvel, just plan this shit out. You know, they've been planning out years ahead. But, you know, just give the fans what they want to see. We want to see X-Men. We want to see Fantastic Four and Avengers. We want to see Secret Wars, so you could bring them into this universe already and stop delaying it. You know, but we also want something fresh and exciting. We don't want the same formula and shit they've been doing. Jokes every fucking 5 seconds. Every time there's something emotional that's happened or something serious in the movie, they fuck it up with a joke, a random joke. Like, come on, man. You know, like, I feel like, yo, with the money they've made, all their movies need to be on freaking Infinity War Endgame level. Not as far as, like, story. You know, stories could be good, but just give us those visuals. Give us those, like, same quality, you know? Same stakes, qualities. Cinematography, like the look of it, the feel of it. You know, they gotta invest more. You know, Black Panther 2 is coming out. I'm hyped for that. Supposedly Namor, they're gonna introduce him in that. All right, matter of fact, now let me get into this shit. We need Hawk. Hawk needs a movie, man. World War Hawk. What's going on? Hawk needs his own movie. They talking about doing a She-Hulk show. I'm not really into the Disney Plus things. You know, I might be into it once I watch it, but for right now, I'm not hyped for that. A freaking She-Hulk show? No, I'd rather see her in a movie with Hawk. You know, Captain Marvel, I'm not excited for that. Black Widow, they should have been fucking did that. Eternals, no. From what I'm hearing and the fuck they doing, changing characters and gender swapping, I'm not interested in no Eternals movie. But Black Panther, yeah. Spider-Man is staying for the foreseeable future. So yeah, I'll watch that. Even though that's Iron Boy, that's not the real Spider-Man. Like, come on, man. Spider-Man never needed Iron Man to help him with anything. He makes his own gadgets. He's one of the smartest heroes in Marvel, you know? But, yeah. Spider-Man 3, Black Panther, Doctor Strange. I like the first Doctor Strange. I'll definitely be interested in seeing what they do with the second one. Black Widow, I'll see it. I'd rather see that than Captain Marvel 2, so I'll see it. Shang-Chi, that's supposed to be like some martial artist, Chinese martial artist character that they're working on. I mean, hey, I don't know much about the character, but I would see it if it's good, but that don't mean I'm hyped for it, you know? Like, I'll watch it just to be entertained, you know? But yeah, I think they need to find a way to bring back Iron Man and Cap, you know, and I'll be more excited because we still got Red Skull and Hydra, and they got shit that they left behind that they need to still bring back into the fold. Alright guys, this is the end of the video. If you like it, leave a like, comment, and please subscribe. I'm out.